Hello, Earth signs, and welcome to you. December 2020. Yeah, where did 2020 go, right? So, everyone is welcome, and I appreciate you being here. Earth, sun, Earth rising, Earth moon. And crosswatchers are going to be particularly pleased by the reading that I do because I incorporate the masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang in the reading, and cross-reference, etc., and blended energies. Thank you very much. So here we go. December 21st. That's the focus. I've made that the intention for all the readings this month for all signs. And the reason is because it's a huge conjunction that day between Jupiter and Saturn. And those are heavy hitters, right? 700 planet Earths will fit in Saturn. 1,300 planet Earths will fit inside Jupiter. They're big. Their mass is huge. Their clout in a gravitational way, not to mention energetic way, is huge. So that's the intention. And I'm seeing it as a great opportunity to balance masculine and feminine in a way that hasn't been available for most people. Well, I mean, who's going to turn down a little bit of a push as you're trying to go a direction and then getting some help to go that direction energetically or with the power within? Who's going to turn it down? I know I'm not. So I say use it. I say use it because it's here. And what is significant about it? The significance here is that this conjunction, in a particular way that it's conjuncting, is not happened in hundreds of years, number one. But number two, it's in Aquarius. And that can be a springboard, right? A springboard into new territory. So let's go. Let's use it. Here we go. Yin line first. Yin. Three of Wands. It's down. Three of Wands. Strength. Six of Swords. How could we be complaining about that? Not. And it's a super strong picture of empowerment. I mean, the story here is with the yin energy, if you're the embodiment of that in your relationship or in your own life, then the energy here is wanting to tell you this. You are standing at a place where moving forward is everything. Why? Because you're particularly tuned to your creative nature at this time. And you're ready to, in a sense, when you look at this card, you see a person that's ready to, just like the fool, step off into the unknown. Is there going to be more of a bridge under my foot? Of course there is, because you believe. And believing is seeing. But that's all way up in the higher realms, the invisible realms. This is a very practical card, and your story behind it is all about practical moves. And it's a willingness to walk into another dimension of your life. And that's where you start here. And then where do you walk? You walk right into strength. You walk right into your strength. What does that mean? That means that your strength is based upon your experience, and you're passing through many trials and many events that formed you into who you are. And it is all, once again, all about grounded energy. With the strength card, it's, you've spent the time in the early part of the major arcana being introduced to what life is all about. And of course, that included the spiritual, celestial, non-material, physical parts. And why was that being done? And to give you the combination of the physical and the non-physical. Why? So that you could bring it. So you could bring your nature, your own strength, your own particular individual, unique strength to your life on the ground, on the earth. And that's where you are. And it's a strong statement about where you are. Strong in the buildup, the putting together of, I got an engine in my vehicle, and it is a powerful engine. But where does the rubber meet the road? 6 of Swords. By using what you got already in your back pocket, in your heart, in your core, by using it, you use the combination of intellect and truth inherent in the 6 of Swords to move ahead, to move into new territory. We were talking about new territory, right? Well, here it is. So if you, and we're going to go to the yang now, but if you and the yang are both balanced with that, it's dynamic to the nth degree. If you're not, then yin, it may be on you to step up and be the strength, be the strong one, be the supportive one, be the nurturing one. You don't have to leave your element as a human being in order to do this. In fact, you'll probably cut yourself short by trying to get out of your element. The best thing you could do is to be yourself with your creative energy and the passion in the 3 of Wands, your strength based on your experience and your ideas about what the 6 of Swords represents in a future that is yours. This is not, for those of you who are resonating with this is not a universal necessity of a message here. It is for you particularly. So you're going to know what I'm talking about when I say that it's your application of your thought process that knows what it knows and is ready to move into the new territory that is really your birthright and your legacy. And maybe with the December 21st moment, that's going to be the time when you can, for the first time in your life, let's put it that way. This planetary configuration is going to be for the first time in your life. So who's to say it's not the first time in your life that you're going to have the opportunity and the momentum to embrace it? What does the yang do now? Earth, yang. I am psyched about what I just saw in the yin line. Let's see where we're going with it for the yang. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Wands. King of Wands. Whoa. I mean, even without a whole lot of major arcana here, this is so, I got shivers running up and down my spine. It's so naturally full of vitality and beauty, really. The beauty of the power of connecting with your universe and our universe, the universe that's available to all the collective. Yang, your story is one that is all in the court cards. So it's telling me that there's some personality aspect here. If it's a relationship for you, it could be a matter of being yourself and to use who you are as your toolbox only to be yourself, because that's what's going to sell the relationship that you're interested in, and there's a component that is you. Nice puzzle piece, right? But all in the court card. So what's the call? What's the call to your required input? What's required of you to synchronize with the court cards? Be a member of the court. Your noble self is what wants to come out here. And what the beauty of that, if you talk about that function with the yin line, which I'm not going to get much into this aspect of this reading now, that'll be in the extended, but just suffice it to say that the yin line is all grounded. All grounded. Even the major arcana card is about being grounded. Here you are in the court, which is the loftiest part of everyone's nature, so that you tap into your nobility, your noble, like there was a book called The Noble Savage. Well, you're not about the savage. You're about the noble with this reading. And the story here is that with the Knight of Pentacles, that's all about you, baby. And you are ready to rock with it, to take action. And if you'll notice with the yin line was ready to take action also. And I am pumped for you guys that with this opportunity coming up, I mean, maybe starting now to psych for it, to psych for the event by talking out some or writing down, using this preamble time to formulate the intentions that are going to serve you both that well. And if you're an individual, psyching to be the best you. And with holding it over in the sidebar, the best you is going to have a springboard to take advantage of in becoming that best you in a quantum leap way, not sequential plodding along step by step by step. It's a leap. It's a jump quickly and completely into a new plateau, into a new level. And the noble you, if that hasn't been what you are accustomed to, then the time is right to be that. Is it something that's been in the back of your head that you've always wanted, but never been quite able to break free from whatever's keeping you from being that? The Knight can help. The Knight of Pentacles can help. And the story is that there's a maintenance here where even though there's a knight sitting in the middle is the equivalent of the person who rode in the chariot with Caesar, who stood in the back of the chariot and whispered into Caesar's ear, physically and in real time, this happened. Remember, you are only a human. The people wanted to make Caesar God, and the Romans in their wisest time were wise enough to know that trying to be a god when you're still a mortal is probably folly, not the best idea. For one thing, it gets you above yourself. You get yourself above yourself, which is an impossible dynamic to maintain. And the sitting in the middle of your three is that reminder. Yeah, the Page of Wands is passionate, energetic, but you can use that in different ways, not to get boastful or egotistical, but rather to use the curiosity and vitality of the page to move forward. And what awaits? Not only the king in the being the be-all and end-all of knowledge, but also the king is the servant of the people in its essence. The kingship serves the people, right? So how does that happen? Well, leadership. And what does the best leader, what are the attributes and characteristics of the best leader? That's for you to look up yourself. Find out. Because it'll be much more meaningful if you're looking at a listing of what the components of leadership are. And then to the ones that you resonate with, be them, whether you are that now or not. Your heart and your spirit will be your guide, because your resonance with any aspect of that is your guideline. Either you have it or you want it. So let's move now to the blended energies. These are going to be all major arcana. Okay. The story here is we've got a situation, we've got a challenge, we've got a strength or an asset, and we've got a potential outcome or actions to take. And we start with the situation. Now this is for the blended energies, the combination overlapping portion of the cards up above. Those are how it plays out. This is kind of conceptually the umbrella under which it resides. So the situation starts with the hanged man. And Neptune's involved, so there's obviously some spiritual quality, the realm of the mystical, if you will. But remember, we're all about grounded here. This whole reading has been about being grounded. So let's not, I always want to leave room at the table for the spiritual aspect and the celestial divine aspect, of course. But in fact, let's not wander too much, if you don't mind, from the practical earthbound aspects. And therefore, the hanging man represents what in that realm? Well, the situation is that you, in this blending, or let's say you're finding the blending being entirely within yourself. Where's your yin? Where's your yang? It's as applicable there as it is to you and someone else. Okay? So when I speak about this, the blending and the balance, it can be individual or it can be partnership. So what does this mean though? It means that there, with the component of taking a purposeful time out and tying yourself upside down, that wants to be used also. You didn't just do that to have the blood run to your head, right? You did it so that you could accomplish something. So Odin in Norse mythology hung himself upside down on the tree of life. Why? So that he could read the runes that were there, and that was the only way they could be read, to learn how to be a better leader, how to rule, how to be a better ruler. And so in that, let's stay with the spirit of that, and we move towards your own leadership, whether you're leading yourself or you're working in tandem with someone else. That you gotta read, using this upside down hanging state of being can be totally a time of formulating the game plan. So let the hangman be excited in a calm way. But let the hanged man also use the excitement and the anticipation for formulating where are we going with this? Okay? And then the challenge is the chariot. Well, how does that apply? Making the move, but without bringing your brains with you to the operation. And then the horses, two steeds, they jump. They just like head off the starting line. And perhaps you get knocked on your ass. You fall out the back of the chariot or some other disaster. So don't do that to yourself. The challenge is just there to show you signpost, a warning sign, but it can also be an encouragement to take advantage of the qualities of something like the chariot and know what you're getting into. It's dynamic, it's big, it's powerful. What is your asset? Well, the sun. I mean, for people, I don't do reversals, but for people who do reversals, the sun is still, it's still positive. The sun, at least in the books that I've read, doesn't change in its aspect from positive, whether it's upright or reversed. How many other cards can you say that about? So obviously, if it's your asset, you've got energy, you've got benevolence galore. And you know, what if you wanted to say, well, am I worthy of that? Are we worthy of that? Remind yourself that paying it forward is a good concept. If you're given all this benevolence and this power and a foundation from which to operate that's second to none, you can always take that and do something for someone else that makes it complete. More like it passed through you, not that you had it come to you and you grabbed it in a miserly way and said, well, I got mine. You know, you guys go and do what you got to do. I got mine. The paying it forward idea is something that is so anti that kind of an attitude. It allows energy which also wants to flow anyway to flow to you, but then and through you. Last but not least, the potential outcome and or actions to take is the World card. The card of perfect balance. In some part of your personal nature or in your combined natures, there's a inkling of that you know this already. You can kind of see what's available should you make the right decisions and make the right moves. It's not a playing catch up kind of a process. It's a proactive process, something that encourages you, like I was saying earlier, when you're psyching, when you're setting intentions, you're playing your game ahead of the curve, not in reaction to the curve. That's pretty much it. You guys got just this most incredible reading for December. And I'm going to continue, it doesn't need much clarification in my opinion, but let's see what the cards have to say for clarification for particulars that may, if it's already resonating with you, but there are some shadow areas, maybe that will reveal things, particulars about different cards. So I'll see you over there at the extended, and thank you all very much for being here. It's been a pleasure. Have a nice December.